Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of... no, I lied. Just kidding. This is for November of 2021. We're going to jump right in here, Libra, and we're going to take a look at your general energies in this first row for the month. Then we're going to look at anything unexpected for the month. Then we're going to look at any messages from your guides in the third row. And then we're going to look at how you can have the best possible outcome in the last row. So let's see here, Libra, what we have going on for you at this time. I feel like you've been getting the Hangman card a lot in your readings. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's you. Like, I've noticed recently that the Hangman has been coming up for you. So, you know, the Hangman could represent a Pisces, number one. But number two, it could represent gaining a new perspective. And this whole entire reading, just looking at the cards that you have here, Libra, it does look like there is something about kind of like gaining a new perspective or how you see things, right? You start off with your general energies with this chaos and conflict card here. Some of you could be dealing with chaos and conflict, but this doesn't have to be a bad thing. Even this card here, it's like this zebra is coming out of chaos and conflict on this card. It's kind of like saying that going through something that might require strength, you have the strength card right here, is actually going to lead to a very, very good result. So the strength card, I kind of feel this is like maybe, you know, I wouldn't say it's your most important card in this reading, but I do feel the strength card here is very important. Strength does remind us to look at times where we were strong. It asks us to look at things that we did that maybe required a lot of strength. The reason is so we can get to the top of the mountain with the Hermit. The Hermit is normally standing at the top of a mountain, right? And when we gain a new perspective, when we see like, hey, I've dealt with something much more difficult than what I'm dealing with right now, when we can kind of put things in perspective, we can become, you know, very, very successful. So I kind of read this as a good thing. I want to see what the next card is. Yeah, you have this Observer card as well. I wouldn't like, no jumping to conclusions here is the energy that I'm getting here, especially this month. You have the Queen of Wands, the Hangman, and the Four of Swords. Definitely like in limbo, right? You know, Hangman being stuck in limbo. Four of Swords can also be a card of kind of being stuck in limbo or even being stuck in transition. And that's kind of like the energy I get here. Four of Swords, Hermit, the Death card. Kind of like the energy that I feel from that is, like I said, some being stuck in some sort of transition or change, or being stuck in a, you know, moving, wanting things to change. It's kind of funny because looking, you know, you have this one, this diagonal right here, being stuck in a change. Then you have this one right here, Queen of Wands, Hermit to the Wheel of Fortune. It's like saying there is going to be a turnaround. Things are, of course, going to get better, but I almost am seeing this as a choice for you here, Libra, where it's like you have a choice between kind of like doing nothing or being bold, being assertive, and making something happen. Everything is kind of pushing you in this direction here. It's actually kind of a simple reading. I think things could be, it doesn't really look like a bad month for you, even though you have the chaos and conflict card. You might be experiencing some conflict or chaos. We pretty much always are in life. That's the point of life, is to, you know, kind of deal with things, right? But I kind of feel like this is a good choice, and I'm just going to give it to you right now. I'm not going to make you wait. Four of Swords, Knight of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, Three of Pentacles. You know, really, I feel like your answer, it is your last card, is the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says focus on what you're good at. It says focus on what you can do. Don't focus on the things that you can't do. I know that sounds simple, but I literally feel that for you to have a really, really good month this month, I feel like you just need to focus on like quality. Focus on the things that you can work on, the things that you can improve, the things that you can change, and it'll probably lead to something really nice. Again, he's got like a beautiful painting on the other side of him, you know, that he's working on. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. Wheel of Fortune is a total turnaround. So for you to improve your situation or have a turnaround this month, I feel like all you have to do is focus on quality. Again, you have the Queen of Wands, the Hangman here, and the Four of Swords. Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, which we see that a lot here in your reading as well, Libra. I do feel like it's asking you to be bold, to be assertive, to really go for what you want. The Queen of Wands to me is the card of wholehearted energy. She gives something, everything, every last ounce of effort inside of her body. Kind of what I'm getting off this first row is that I feel like you have more inside of you than you realize here. It reminds me of David Goggins. I don't know if any of you have watched David Goggins, but he has, I don't know exactly what his saying is here, Libra, but he says something about to the effect of when most people think they're done, they're really only like 70% done, meaning they have like 30% more effort inside of them. Some of you, I do feel like it's like you could be at that 70% point where you kind of feel like you're done in life, in love, in whatever it is you're working on, but I feel like you have more than you realize inside of you. For some of you, I kind of feel this feeling of like needing to maybe let go of some baggage as well, because it's almost like I see you kind of, it's kind of weird. The image I have in my head is somebody like pushing things out. It's almost like you have this bar, right? Like imagine like in a video game, like a bar that's filled up, that would be like 100%. I think you're at that 70%, but it's almost like you could push some things out that would give you like more energy, right? There might be some things in your life that are taking up space, right? That are stealing energy from you. And I feel this first row is talking about realizing what those things are. And this is clearly a very important journey, whatever this is right here. You have the Hermit twice in your reading. The Hermit is like really doing some soul searching, really looking deep deep inside of you to increase that bar of energy. Like I said, to have more, basically. With the Hangman, yep, this is a journey, like I just said. I feel like this reading is leading to something. I'm kind of cheating because the Knight of Cups here and this Three of Pentacles, you have too many cards that would represent, going on a journey of like transition here, where you're like going from one thing to another. Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Wands. The Fool just says, take a leap of faith. I really feel for you, the Fool is like saying, you're ready, no matter what. I feel like you are ready. With the Four of Swords, you have the Ten of Swords. Yep, definitely ready. This is a challenging row. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat this here, Libra. This right here, this diagonal, I should say, this first diagonal, is definitely challenging because it's like some sort of change has to happen. It just feels cold to me, this direction. Everything else is fine. Everything else is great. Again, I actually like where this reading is going because it's like you're clearing things out. But this is like maybe what needs to be cleared out in this row. And I'm going to have to clarify to like get some more details on what this could be. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have the Groundhog Spirit says time to let go. So again, I feel like this is you clearing things out. Like I said, so that you can have more energy is almost how I'm seeing this energy, or I'm seeing this card right here. Now, this card represents like multiple lives and deaths as well here, Libra. Groundhogs, in the Ted Andrews Animal Speaks book, he talks about how groundhogs, they have like multiple chambers in their burrow, and it kind of represents multiple rebirth cycles in your life, like if you have a groundhog animal totem. And I kind of feel like that meaning for you here, Libra, where it's like I feel like you are going through multiple transitions or multiple transformations. I think the challenge there, Libra, is that, excuse me, sneezing already. I think the challenge there is like if you experience, now I'm going to sneeze 10 times in a row. But if you experience like a death and then you experience another death and another death, you kind of feel like maybe giving up because you're like, clearly I'm not meant to move in a certain direction. But it's like, imagine if you were a groundhog and you were all the way at the back of your burrow and you had to move through multiple chambers, right, to get out. That's kind of like how I'm seeing this reading as well. It's almost like you are undergoing multiple endings, multiple transformations, and it's like you're almost at the end. Look, here's the light at the end of the tunnel here, Libra, with this card. And I feel like that's what you need to focus on. We're going to talk about this row, obviously, in a minute. But this is going to require strength. Like, look, this is heavy energy here, Libra. You have the Strength card here, the Hermit, and the Knight of Wands. Strength with the Hermit is definitely kind of a heavier energy. The Strength card is about needing to like do things that make you feel strong as well. The Strength card can ask you to make sure that you're giving to situations that give you strength and not giving to situations that don't, right? The Strength card, typically, the lion has its tail between its legs on the Strength card. This Strength card, there is a man wrestling a bull, but traditionally, it is the lady who is taming the lion. Lion has its tail between its legs. It kind of represents the fact that her emotions, her anxieties, her fears, all those things are submitting to her, right? So it's about inner strength. It's about your strength and you kind of conquering your demons or the things that you feel control you. Same thing with the Hermit. Hermit, he has climbed to the top of a mountain and he's shining his inner light now, but I feel like this is talking about some sort of journey that you're going on. Again, I feel like you're coming into the light here in a lot of ways. The Knight of Wands is just the adventure, so I feel like a lot of you are on some sort of adventure right now where it's kind of like you're trying to build something up. Again, I'm speaking generally here, but it's going to be different for all of you. Some of you maybe your goal is to get married. For others, maybe your goal is to build a business. Wherever you are, really, I feel like this reading is all about where you are experiencing multiple deaths and rebirths in your life. Could be love, could be business, could be anywhere here, Libra. I just feel like this reading is kind of encouraging. It's actually a very empowering reading in a lot of ways, because it's like saying you got a lot more inside of you than you realize, and it's encouraging you to see things through to the end. It's encouraging you to, get to the light at the end of the tunnel here, because clearly there's something really nice coming in for you. So let's clarify this. For those of you looking for love, by the way, it definitely could be a fire sign. You keep getting fire in your readings, and, you have Leo, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, could be a fire sign. With the Strength card, you have the Five of Swords. There is a major cutting out energy here in your reading, obviously. There's several things here that could represent cutting something out of your life. With the Hermit, you have the Magician, a new beginning here. I feel like you need to dream. Like, this row is very interesting. The Magician is pointing towards the Seven of Cups here with the Judgment card. Seven of Cups is like, I want something, right? You could be like, I want love. I want this business. I want to reach this goal. But you have the Judgment card here. You know what I always think of, Libra, with the Judgment card and the Seven of Cups? Is it's like having a desire to want something, like, oh, I want $1 million. It's like you're focused on one thing, right? You want one thing, Judgment. You're feeling called to $1 million. You're feeling called to have a home and a family. Getting it together with the Seven of Cups is like, but what will my cousin think? What will my neighbors think if I start making all this money? How am I going to pay my taxes? Will I have to hire people? It's like all these like what ifs popping up around that just don't matter, right? So this to me says get out of your head, especially with this Magician. The Magician is like the possibilities are endless. Your opportunities are endless. You can create whatever you want, but you're going to have to get rid of the what ifs. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Five of Wands here. Chaos and conflict, right? Five of Wands would be that card right there. Five of Wands is about going on the adventure. You have probably heard me say, I call the Five of Wands Indiana Jones. To me, it's a card of like going on some sort of crazy adventure to accomplish something, like reaching a goal or, to get some sort of treasure. That's why I call it Indiana Jones. It's like you're not going through this conflict or chaos to get nothing. Another one of my favorite people of all time, Eric Thomas, hip hop preacher, right? He says, at the end of pain is success. So it's like, I think that reminds people like, hey, if you stop, if you give up on something and you've been experiencing pain, then you're not getting the reward. It's like you're giving up before you get the success, right? So Five of Wands always reminds me of that. It always reminds me that at the end of pain is success. It's like, don't give up. Don't get nothing for what you've been through. Make sure to get your reward, because the universe wants to reward you, is what this reading is saying to me. Here in the area of your guides, you have this broken open card. I'm kind of seeing this as the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like your guides are kind of opening you up, but also I feel like they're putting something out there for you to see. I'm kind of seeing this as seeing something. Look, you have the Judgment card. Normally, it's the angel with the people rising out of the coffin. On this one, it's this lady, and there's like all this light that is shining down on her here. And the light right here, you got the light at the top of the Wheel of Fortune here as well. Definitely, that is like the thing that's standing out to me in your reading. So I would say that for a lot of you, I feel like your guides are like trying to get your attention with something here. Or this is the month that you will be seeing an opportunity, or something will be standing out to you to work towards. You have the Death card, the Seven of Cups, the Judgment card, and the Wheel of Fortune. Clearly, there is some sort of turnaround going on for you here. The Wheel of Fortune reminds us as well that there will always be chaos and conflict in our life, right? We pretty much want to be at the center of the wheel on the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel is always spinning around us, the wheel is always spinning. We can choose to be on the outside of the wheel, and then it's like we're spinning around in just a washing machine, right? We're getting all tumbled around and everything like that. Not really a bad thing necessarily, because sometimes it's like getting tumbled around. It's like you're a rock in the ocean, It's like you become smooth, you become rounded, you become something beautiful when you go through something difficult, right? It's almost like a tumbled rock, if you've ever seen one. But eventually, we want to stop getting tumbled around. Eventually, we want to reach the middle of the wheel, because when you're at the middle of the wheel, you're just standing upright and the wheel is spinning around you, meaning there are always changes that are going on in your life, but you can handle the changes. You can see them coming at you. You respond to them better when you are at the center of the wheel. And that's kind of like what I see here. It's like I feel like you're becoming the center of the wheel. With the Death card, you have the Four of Pentacles, letting go of what always was. Four of Pentacles is holding on too tightly to things that you've always, that have always been. But again, I feel like you're letting go of this diagonal here. I didn't even say anything here. Well, I did. But again, you have the Seven of Cups as well. You have the Seven of Cups Judgment card, and it's clarified by the Seven of Cups. So, very strong need to get rid of the what ifs. I feel like you need to focus on the victory. There is a wreath, a laurel wreath right here. It's going to be very hard to see on this card probably here, Libra. But the wreath in the tarot represents an accomplishment. So I feel like you need to focus on the accomplishment that you desire, the outcome you desire, not everything else that's going on around it. Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands, total transformation, major new beginning coming in for you. It's a good reading, Libra. Difficult. I feel like what you've been through has been the tumbling around, right? But like I said, it's almost like you're becoming a smooth pebble at the ocean. I hope that's a good thing. I hope you see that as a good thing, because I do. I see that as a good thing for you. It's like all the rough edges have been removed. You've been smoothed out by something here. Pretty powerful stuff, Libra. I would say it's probably like one of the more powerful readings I've done for you in a while. And at the end here of how to have the best possible outcome this month, you have this gentle moderation card. It says, take your time. Pressure from others or yourself can be released by renegotiating what you are trying to accomplish. I feel like that it pretty much sums up your reading in a lot of ways as well. And what I would say here is I would just, kind of like take your time, heal yourself, and all that other stuff. Again, I want to say, I feel like that is kind of talking about what I was talking about, how it's like there are some things that maybe you need to remove from your energy bar, right? Where it's like you have a certain amount of energy. I feel like you're at like 70%, but I feel like you could get it to be like you have spent 70% of your energy. You only have 30% left. I feel like you could lower that. I feel like you could get to like 50% so that you have another 50% of energy to put into something that you want to do this month. But I feel like it would require letting go of something that like makes you feel weak with the Strength card or something like that. I feel like you could add to it as well by just focusing on things that you have accomplished with that Strength card. Strength is pretty simple. If we look at the past if we look at times where we were strong, if we gain a new perspective with the Hangman and we say, hey, what I'm dealing with right now is like 50% what I was dealing with years ago. If we gain that perspective, then we gain strength. And that's what I feel like you're doing here. You have the Knight of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles here. I definitely feel like there could be love coming in for you. Could be a Knight in Shining Armor, probably a fire sign. Who knows? Could be any sign. It's a general reading. But the Knight of Cups is your dreams. He is normally kind of looking into this cup very deeply, and he's trying to manifest some sort of dream, or he's trying to manifest something that he desires to have in his life. But he's looking very deeply into the cup. So I feel for a lot of you, that's like what you are working towards here. Five of Swords, I feel like is saying walk away from things that no longer serve you. And the Three of Pentacles here, I feel like is saying focus on what you can control. Focus on the things where you have like the biggest impact as well in your life with the Three of Pentacles. Because again, Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. It says don't focus on things that aren't going to matter. Focus on the things that are going to matter the most. It's kind of like a conservation of energy. I've been saying all year. I mean, we had Saturn and Capricorn a couple years ago. And to me, just because Saturn isn't in Capricorn anymore doesn't mean we're not still dealing with the energy. It's like Saturn goes through a sign, and then after, it's like, did you learn the lesson? Because you're going to have to pay for it in like 27 years when Saturn comes back into Capricorn. So it's like, if in 27 years, I know that's a long time away. It seems like it. It'll be here before you know it. But it's like, if you learned the lesson, if you learned the 80-20 rule, that, you get 80% of your results from 20% of your work with Saturn and Capricorn, you're going to see the benefits from now until 27 years, right? So until it comes back into Capricorn, and maybe you have to learn the lesson again in some other area of your life, it's going to be different because there's going to be different planets that are aspecting Saturn at that time. I haven't looked 27 years into the future, but what I would say here is, Saturn Capricorn wants us to focus on the 80-20 rule, like, focusing on the things that matter, working on the things that matter as well. With the Knight of Cups here, you have the Nine of Cups. Make a wish. I do feel like there could be a wish or dream coming true for sure. With the Five of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles. Balance, putting in the work as well. I feel like you're working really hard at this time. And with the Three of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, everything you want. Ten of Pentacles is the tree of life, so it is like everything you want. But this is a pretty powerful reading, I have to say, Libra. A lot of powerful stuff going on here. So love it. So anyway, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, Libra, and definitely enjoy your month.